All right, Shalom Makim Shalom. Yeah, Yabashmal Shai Brakathum to my dear brothers out there, you little man and sisters. Worshiping the Heavenly Father in spirit and in truth. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone. All right, welcome back to another current events, prophecy, and madness. And the subtitle was going to be Children Under Attack. And if you've been on your watchtower, if you've been on your watch, it's a lot of news that's coming out of how our children are being attacked physically and spiritually. You got a lot of pedophile rings and sex trafficking rings that's being exposed, and also you got a lot of these agendas that's being pushed on these children. Agendas of same-sex practices, satanic worship, and just basically destroying them with everything, even including the food. Matter of fact, let's see what we have queued up here first. Let's see what we have here.
Psychological test. Starting at midnight tonight, the Sheriff's Department will no longer...
I'm sorry, let me start that over here.
I'm going to show you guys the... Starting at midnight tonight, the Sheriff's Department will no longer detain people for crimes such as theft, shoplifting, drug use, vandalism, battery, and a whole host of other non-serious, non-violent crimes that affect the quality of life of people here in Los Angeles County.
LA Deputy DA John McKinney explains that due to Judge Lawrence Riff's ruling, many people arrested will be released immediately without having to pay bail before their arraignment.
Judge Riff made the point of saying that he implored California officials like the sheriff, the chief of police, the district attorney, the city attorney. He implored them to testify, to explain why he shouldn't issue this order, and he was surprised when no one stood up to challenge it.
No one challenged it. Not LAPD Chief Michael Moore, LA County Sheriff Robert Luna, or District Attorney George Gascon.
This system is not defensible. There is no evidence to suggest that money bail does any good.
Civil rights attorney Salil Dudani applauds Judge Riff's ruling and says the current cash bail system is unconstitutional and unfair.
The current system is not based on whether you're dangerous, on whether you're a flight risk, on whether there's really any need at all for you to be in jail. It's just based on how much money you can pay. That's not fair. It makes no sense.
Would you have challenged it?
I would have challenged it for sure.
Former Sheriff Alex Villanueva believes it's a mistake that no one opposed the ruling, but he says with the current leadership, he's not surprised.
And the biggest impact actually is not going to be on the Sheriff's Department, LAPD. It's going to be on the other 45 municipalities that have their own police departments, because now they carry the burden of having to deliver their own inmates to court.
Starting at midnight.
Yeah. It says zero bail policy reinstated in the LA County. And as you heard, everything I heard, it just showing me that they want violence to be increased. That's a part of the Elite of the Society plan. They want violence to be increased. They want order out of chaos, violence. So now they're not, over here in the LA County, they're not going to be arresting people for petty thefts, domestic violence, and things of a small nature. They're not going to be arresting people for. So crime is going to increase as far as domestic violence and theft. If you brethren and sisters been paying attention, there's been a lot of people that have been going into these commercial stores, these big stores, like Walmart, etc., and they just filling up their basket and walking out. And there's no police that's coming. So what it's showing is that basically America is finished, it's done. The protective system is being broken. The police system and people being put in jail is being broken right before our face. This is 2nd Esdras 15 and 15. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands. It's going to get to that point where everybody committing crime against each other, they're going to be, killing each other off. It's going to be self-destructing going on over here in America, man. They're going to be killing each other. It says, "For there should be a sedition among men, and invading one another, and they should not regard their kings nor their princes, in the course of their actions to stand in their power." So this violence, this type of energy is going to continue to increase to the point where nobody ain't going to care about no police, period. It's going to be a sedition, which means an uprising against the government. They're not going to care about the police. They're not going to care about any type of government official. But people are going to be out here just in a chaotic state for whatever reason, whether it be they need food, whether it be some woman did something to them, whether it be they want to rape a woman, whatever it is. And there ain't going to be no more defense. So let's play this next thing we have queued here.
California is now considering a bill that would send children as young as 12 years old to group homes without the parents' permission.
This will affect every single parent in the state of California. I'll give you an example like this. Your 12-year-old has TikTok, your 12-year-old has a cell phone and social media, and you're not comfortable with the way that he or she is using that social media. You get in a huge fight, you take the phone away, you ground them for a week or two, and they go to school. Well, now the state has inserted these professional individuals, professional people on to public school campuses, and now your child is having a hard day. The teacher notices and recommends that they go get a counseling session. When they're at that session, they divulge, they share with this adult who they believe is a trusted adult who's taking care of them, and they share they had a total terrible blowout fight with that you and your husband or your partner. They don't want to go home, they don't feel comfortable talking to you, and the professional person asks them if they want to go maybe cool off a couple of days and somewhere off campus and outside of the home, and your child says yes. Now, only children who have been found to be the victims of incest, child abuse, or a serious risk of harm to themselves or others can be removed from the home without their parents' knowledge and consent. If AB 665 passes the way that Wendy Carrillo and Senator Scott Wiener want it to pass, a 12-year-old who's deemed mature enough by the professional person can not only receive the mental health treatment, they can opt themselves out of their home into a residential facility, and the parent would never know.
California is now.
Yeah. If you are a United States citizen, your children are under attack by your government. As you can see, a bill called AB 665, they're trying to put this into play. And as you heard the lady speaking, this would give children from 12 years old and upward the authority to leave from their parents' home and be placed in some type of government facility. So they're giving children power over the parents. They're giving children power over the parents. That's not the order that their Heavenly Father set up. And she said it could be simply from the parents not liking that their children are on their tablet too long, or the parents disciplining the children. If the children don't like discipline, they could go to school and refer for this service. This is what they're trying to pass into law. You know? And what discipline doesn't, when you getting disciplined, it doesn't feel good. It ain't supposed to make you feel good. It's supposed to shame you. But that don't mean that the child should be able to run off from the parent. The parent, for the good, so that the child can have a good, decent life. That's why the parents discipline him. But Esau is coming against that. He's stirring a chaotic state, a confused state, reprobates. This is Isaiah 24 and 10. This is creating reprobate children. It says the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man could come in. There is a cry for wine in the street, and all joys darkened, and mirth at the land is gone. So we're getting to that point where all the mirth of the land is ceasing. Esau is seizing you people's rights, even to your children. Let's play something else on the same subject.
665, which was recently passed. Now, could you start with a brief overview of what's your thoughts on this bill?
Yeah, this is a horrific bill when it comes to parental rights and undermining the rights of parents. What it says is it's going to change the law to allow counselors, mental health counselors, possibly like a school counselor, for example, to take a child and put the child over the age of 12, has to be over the age of 12 or over, and put that child into a mental health residential facility without parental consent. Now, right now, under the law, in order for this to be done, there has to be reports of incest or an immediate threat to the child's health or safety, that they're likely going to try to commit suicide or harm themselves physically or mentally. That right now, that's what has to be shown before a child can be taken and put into a mental health facility without parental consent. This obliterates those qualifiers and gives tremendous latitude for a mental health counselor to be able to take a child away from the parents, put them in this residential mental hospital for youth, and the parents have no say in the matter. Due process is out the window.
Could you talk about how this would impact communities and families in California?
Now, basically what this does is it puts a cloud of fear over moms and dads up and down the state of California, just knowing that at any time they could lose their child. And specifically, this legislation is targeting those children who might have same-sex sexual attraction issues or confusion, or.
And I'll leave it off right there. You hear the devil, man. This Edomite, the self-proclaimed white man, the least of their society, they're making hella moves, hella satanic moves to destroy you people. It's happening. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, "Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun, the light, and the moon, and the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after rain." So, brethren and sisters, we have Yahweh Shemel Shai, man. That's our bread, our pride, and joy. And you got to just, pray to the Lord for your children. You got to do that which is right before the Lord so you and your children could be protected, because this devil is attacking children on a high level. Let's play what we have here next.
Nearly 30 children in Cleveland, Ohio have went missing in less than 2 weeks. So look, according to the reports, the police chief told reporters at a news conference, "I have never seen nothing like this. In my whole 33-year career, things have never been this bad. And it's troubling because we don't know what's going on. We don't know if they've been kidnapped. We don't know if they're being forced to be slaves. We don't know if they overdosed on drugs. We don't know if they ran away to join a gang. We just don't know what's going on right now. There's usually peaks and valleys when it comes to missing people. But what's happening right now is unbelievable. And the majority of the children ages are 12 to 17 years old. Listen, this sounds like..."
Yeah. Didn't they just report that they lost 85,000 children? And now there's like, you hear this man speaking, 30 children going missing in 2 weeks? Esau Edom is stealing the children. And he's sacrificing them. He's going for his New World Order, and he's making satanic moves by doing sacrificial sacrifices, man. So like the Spirit had me saying before the video, you got to be praying for your children out here, being circumspect and doing what you need to do, so that in all hopes that the Lord's going to cover your children. But a lot of children are going missing. A lot of weird things is going down. This is Malachi 3:5. It says, "And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, to turn aside the stranger from his right. And fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts, for I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed." So the Heavenly Father finna come and he gonna cast some serious judgment on Esau Edom for this wickedness he's doing. And a lot of you Jakes, you're getting judged because you so worried about your own personal self and not your children like you're supposed to. You sending them off to these schools, you letting them go out and party, you letting them just do whatever they want, and you're losing them. They're getting snatched up. Look at all, that's all Israelite women. You know? You gotta understand, we're under attack. This is war. Esau Edom is making his move. You gotta get right with your God. Let's play this next thing.
Don't think that the court system cares anything about your relationship with your child. Fortunately, a lot of men come in and they say, I want the judge to know exactly what she's been doing, how she's been treating me, how she treats the kids. And I kind of say, wait a minute, it's rare you find a judge who gives a shit. Okay, it's rare. They don't care. They care about moving cases off their docket. They want their docket to stay clean. So I want them to understand that. You can fight for your day in court. You can get in there. You can have a great case. You can have great evidence. And you can still lose because this judge doesn't care. The judge might be friends with opposing counsel. The law firm may have contributed to the campaign of the judge. There are so many factors that are involved in justice that have nothing to do with justice. You know, it's crazy. We have these big books and they have all these laws in there and there's pages and pages of laws. You know, the judge must XYZ. Then they end it with, or whatever the judge thinks is in the child's best interest, okay? Which kills you on appeal, essentially. Don't think.
Yeah. And a lot of brethren, man, a lot of their affliction is child support. But the system, as you heard this lady speak, she knows. The system is rigged against us, you Negro, Latino, Native American men. It's rigged against you. It don't matter if you got good, solid evidence. It don't matter if you have a good case. She said at the end of the day, it's just up to the judge. And the judge be having ties with the prosecutors. You know, they be having ties with the different companies that you're fighting against. So it don't matter what you have. And this is where we at, man. I remember a video where a man, he picked his daughter up on the weekends or something, and when he picked her up, he had her in the car seat, in the back seat, and he was crying because, you know, it was a manly cry because his daughter's face was rashed up. She had boogers that were so crusty that it looked like it would hurt her face to peel a booger off. It was like the woman didn't care. And certain brethren, certain brethren have those type of women that they really don't care about the kids like that. They send the kid off to the brother, and the brother got to go get new shoes for him, got to get his hair cut, got to get him some clothes. Because you women y'all living your best life. And that brings forth that energy if you don't really care for your children like that. This is Deuteronomy 28:32. It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given into another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. So we know that took place during the time of slavery. We lost our children to Esau Edom. He auctioned them off and whatnot. But you can even see how the man is being separated from their children, and they're given to their mothers, and the man have no power. He has no power to help his child besides the little bit of, you know, free time the judge say he can have, or whatever the woman decides she wants to do. It's just like, it's terrible, man. The children are under attack, all right? As you can see, the children are under attack. It's not happy in America right now. Nothing ain't happy right now, man. It ain't time to have fun and truth. As you can see, check this next video clip out.
Dad,
let me start that over because you got to hear that from the beginning.
do I have it, Dad?
Why do you ask that?
I don't know, but do I have one?
Of course you do.
What's his name again?
His name is Tyrell.
Tyrell?
Mm-hmm.
Mom, does he know I'm really smart, or does he not?
I don't think he knows.
Why? Ever since I tell him I'm really good.
Who do you mean?
Tyrell.
What about?
Like, if I tell him I'm really good, he will trust us, I think.
Jakai, it's not about that. Sometimes adults, even though they're big people, like even though they're adults, they don't do the right thing all the time. And so some dads don't do the right thing, and some moms don't do the right thing. But what'd you say?
Do I have it? Do I have it, Dad?
Why you ask that?
Yeah, man, that was a like, you know, a motion striking question. He asked if he had a dad, man. You know, it's terrible out here for us Negro, Latino, Native Americans. We truly under the curses of the Heavenly Father because we broke the statute, laws, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. Now our children are asking, do I have a dad? And this is all the households. A lot of us brethren and you sisters out there, you grew up without your pops in the house. And that was a systematic move, a devilish move done by the Edomites and their elites to separate us from our family. And now our children are running around void of judgment. They can't judge nothing correct. They're practicing homosexuality and violence. This is Deuteronomy 28:54. It says, so that a man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes should be evil towards his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children, which he should leave. So here it is, Esau in the back. You see, I just realized it's Edomite in the back, you know, while that kid is asking, do I have a dad? So the curse is that the father will leave the children, man. Fucking terrible out here, man. That's why we need Yahushua. And Yahushua will come with healing in his wings. Let's play the next thing.
Thank you. Yeah. Hi, thanks for coming today. Are there any trends within the black community, such as higher crime rates or higher illegitimacy rates that could explain their position vis-a-vis whites? And can those be explained by some dominant social group?
No.
No to the first one, or the
no
second
to no to both.
So there's no.
I mean, it's there's a propagandistic mechanism that's afloat about, you know, black illegitimacy and black criminality. I guess it depends on what kind of crime you have in mind. If we think about which community in the United States has the highest degree of history of violence, that's unquestionably white Americans. Unquestionably. I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware of the 100 massacres that were conducted between the end of the Civil War and World War II that were directed against black communities throughout the United States, in which thousands of blacks were killed and the white terrorists appropriated black-owned property. So there's no segment of the population that has a greater history of violence than white Americans. So when you talk about these kinds of matters to me, you're actually mouthing a set of propagandistic claims that are made on the right in the United States, and they do not have a foundation in fact.
All right, so.
Yeah. The Edomite trying to ask, you know, why is it so much crime amongst African Americans? And Jake had to get in him. He kind of remind me of a Gadite of some sort. Got all on him. Because you Edomites, you got some nerve. You got some nerve. You self-proclaimed white people, you commit the most crimes for the hundreds of centuries. Excuse me, for hundreds of centuries. Since you've been on the earth, all you do is rape, rob, and murder. Just as it says in John 10:10, the thief cometh not but to steal and to kill. You have the highest crime rates. You do the most craziest things. You destroy people. Just like the guy Oppenheimer said when they dropped the atomic bomb, you became the destroyer of worlds. You destroy people's worlds. This is Amos 1:11. It says, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So now it's time for you to be punished. Just get ready to be punished, because you just do too much. You Edomites, you do too much. Let's play this next thing we have here.
This is amazing. Look here. This is just amazing. Look at this.
No ways. Look at that.
Wow.
Oh my God, gorgeous.
This is just.
No, that's
this is,
unbelievable.
This is. Yo. I saw the.
And then, that's
look, I don't even have it on.
Yeah, you brothers and sisters can see, man, I had to show this. Because here it is, you know, they accuse us of crime, they accuse us of all this stuff, but they really, you Edomites, the Edomites, they accuse the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, you Israelites, they accuse us of crimes and all this other stuff. We the worst thing, minorities, everything. But really they want to be like us. They want to be us. And this video shows it. This is what sunscreen looks like under a UV. If your eyes had a version of UV, when Edomites put on sunblock, this is what they'll look like. Basically, they're putting on a portion of pigment. You know? They're putting on a portion of pigment skin. And this is what they truly want to look like. Look how happy they are when they put it on. Ooh, look at me. But see, it's a curse. It's a curse that the Lord put on you, and why you don't have your pigment no more. And that's because when your forefather Cain, the spirit that was in Cain is the same spirit in you Edomites. When you killed Abel, the Lord took your pigment out of your skin, and that was your curse. All right, you're the only nation with no pigment in the skin, and you got to use sunblock. Check this portion out in Genesis. When you read Genesis 28 and 6, it says, when Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to Padan-aram to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him to give him a charge, saying, thou shalt not take a wife for the daughters of Canaan. Canaan, descendants of Ham, which are the Africans today. Isaac didn't want Jacob or Esau to deal with the Canaanite woman. It says, and that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother and was gone to Padan-aram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael and took unto him the wives which he had, Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nebajoth, to his wife. So Esau's about disobedience. He seen that his father didn't want them to marry the ones of the land, the people of the land. And Esau did it anyway. And he did it because he wanted to have that pigment back in his children's skin. All right? That's a part of the reason why he did it. It was to be disobedient and so that he could have his pigment back. But you devils, that's a curse from the Heavenly Father. Let's play this next thing though here.
And then you get to your transatlantic slave movement. But don't start at the ships on the west coast of Africa. That's all you're going to get in your democratic American public re-education system. And it just troubles me. Even blacks in this country aren't educated enough to go further back. Do you know how many blacks in America have been lost to Islam? It's outrageous. That's not your tribe. Your tribe is Judah. Muhammad's tribe enslaved you. Why would you convert to Muhammad's tribe when you're of King David's tribe? Don't convert to the tribe that enslaved you and then sold you to Ashkenazi ship merchants. More black Negroes have been lost to Islam in the 20th century than any other Bible-believing group. It's outrageous. Because they don't want you to know who you really are and what tribe you're from. But you're not from Muhammad's tribe. Never were. Never were. You are a regal Negro class from the royal house of Judah. It's outrageous to me. Islam is not the black man's religion. It's for those of the Banu Hasham clan of the Quraysh tribe. That's who it's for. It's not from the tribe of Judah. Never was, never will be. It was never the religion of the Negro nomads in Africa, because they were exiled from the kingdom of Judah. In Joel chapter 3, verse 6, it talks about these indigenous black Africans in collusion with the Ashkenazi, because they were selling the Negro house of Judah to the Greeks. And who did the Greeks? The Greeks, they invented democracy, didn't they? Didn't they just? You see, Africans weren't selling their own people. They were selling a tribe that had encroached upon their land, a higher educated, regal class that had judges, coppersmiths, goldsmiths, and all of this, and they did not assimilate in, and they wanted their stuff, and they wanted to get paid by Islam, and Islam wanted to get paid by the Ashkenazi ship merchants. The Igbo tribe of Africa, they're Jewish. If you were to look, just look at old maps of the African slaving maps. There's an old map of, I think it's Guinea in maybe in the 1720s, 1730s. There's this old map, and it's called a Slave Coast map. Look on that. It's the Slave Coast map of Guinea, 1736. And you look on the West Africa map of 1747, and it says right on the West Africa map of 1747, Kingdom of Judah. Right there on the map. On the 1747 Slave Coast map, Desert of Seth. Well, who was Seth? He was Adam and Eve's third son after the death of who? Abel. And then you get...
I don't even really need to say much. He explained it nice, plain, and clear. I mean, a fifth grader could understand what he said. He explained it for you. We are the Israelites, you Negroes, Latino, and Native American descendants of Central, North, and South America. You are the Israelites. And it's out there. The information is out there for you. And even scholars can see it. And you have some of these scholars like this man explaining what the truth is. He explained it enough. I'm just going to go straight to the scripture. Hosea 1:10. It's a prophecy concerning us. Hosea 1:10 says, Yet the children of Israel should be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it should come to pass, in a place where it was said unto them, You are not my people, there should be said unto them, You are the sons of the living God. Here in America, we lost our heritage, and now we're at the end of the days, we're getting our heritage back. In a land where we were not called the people, here it will be said, You are the people of the living God. Then shall the children of Judah, the southern kingdom, and the children of Israel, the northern kingdom, be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up to the land, and great shall be the day of Jezreel. And that's what's taking place. The kingdoms are reuniting again in the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. And the information is out there for you. You got to want it. You got to get it. Hey, so with that, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, this has been another Current Events, Prophecy and Madness. Subtitle being Our Children Are Under Attack. You know, you brothers and sisters, stay strong out there. Pray. Do what you need to do. And understand that we're in a war. So you got to, our spiritual tools to fight the war is prayer and getting close to your God, Yahweh Ba'Shemel Shai. So you Akim and you brothers and sisters, stay strong out there. Shalom Akim Step. Shalom.